Oasis Audio presents The Apple Creek Announcement by Wanda E. Brunstetter. Read for you by Rebecca Gallagher. Prologue. Walnut Creek, Ohio.
Would you look at this old chair? I think it's a beauty, don't you?
From his kneeling position, Orly Troyer pointed to the vintage oak office chair he'd purchased at a family-run estate sale he and his wife had visited earlier in the day. "I'd say so, and it appears to be in quite good condition. Not only that, but you got the chair for a fair price," Lois responded. She held up an old washboard she had found at the sale. "But this is one of my favorite items. I don't know if you noticed, but the lettering on the backside of the board looks pretty clear." Orly nodded.
Now we need to put these items on display in our store.
"I'll place the washboard with the kitchen items, and you can move the chair over with the furniture."
No problem.
Orly stood up and rubbed the small of his back, where a knot had begun to form.
Although business has been strong this spring, and hopefully will continue to grow now that it's summer, it has been a while since anyone has come into Memory Keepers with some sort of problem they wanted to talk about.
His eyes squinted as he pulled his finger slowly through the end of his long, full beard.
I miss mentoring folks one-on-one.
"I do too," Lois agreed. "But I'm glad for the opportunity to advise people who contact me via the Dear Caroline column in the local newspaper."
Yeah, that must be a good feeling, all right.
Orly couldn't help feeling a bit envious that his wife had such a unique opportunity to help others. Even so, there were days when he wished Lois would quit the job and spend more time with him. He looked over at her and said,
Maybe the newspaper would be interested in hiring a man to write a Dear Samuel column, just for men. Then we'd both be too busy to make popcorn and work on puzzles in the evenings.
He jiggled his brows and gave her arm a playful poke.
What do you think, Fra? Would it be a good idea if I went to the newspaper and suggested that they hire me for that job?
Lois snickered as she rolled her eyes at him. "I think you'd better stick to selling antiques and stay ready for the day when the Lord sends another person into our store who needs some counseling from you." Orly smiled.
You're right, and I hope that day will come soon.
Chapter 1. Apple Creek, Ohio. Click, click, click. Andrea cringed as her newest piano student's fingers hit the keys while she played the piece of music she'd been given last week. For some piano teachers, the sound of nails clicking on the keys was exasperating. Andrea was one of those teachers. She waited until the 14-year-old girl had finished playing before speaking to her. "Peggy, you hit all the right notes, and your timing was good. But your fingernails are much too long, and I'd like you to cut them before your next lesson."
"But, Miss Wagner, the teacher I had before my folks and I moved to Apple Creek never said anything about my nails."
Peggy held out her hands.
"I like 'em this way, and they don't look as pretty when they're short."
"Having shorter nails will help you maintain a relaxed, curved hand position," Andrea explained.
"Why do my fingers have to be curved?"
"By doing so, you will make them close to the same length, giving each finger equal playing ability. I'm sure your previous teacher must have told you that." Andrea paused to be sure that she had her student's full attention, but the girl merely sat with a glum expression. "Being able to feel the keys with the pads of your fingers will give you a better touch on the keyboard, which in turn will allow you to play with greater control," Andrea continued. "You'll also have greater speed because long nails could get in the way and might even cause you to make mistakes. And have you noticed how—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?